I've never sailed backwards, but I have sailed with some backwards sailors.
Yes. Yeah. We are pointed south, but we are actually going north.
We'll be crossing the border, the international borderline. It's Canada.
We're actually sailing backwards.
Yeah.
8.4 knots. Backwards across the border.
How's that even possible? So the plan here is, now that we got everything on the boat, we're going to leave the dock, and then we're going to start packing the stuff where it needs to go on the boat while we're underway.
All of this will eventually find a home, and so it's just a matter of unpacking and organizing, and in 2 hours, it's going to be clean. I think. 3 hours.
How many loads did it take to get all this stuff on the boat?
I don't know, 8?
We were headed out on a month-long trip to BC. And with any trip this long, the planning, provisioning, and packing play a significant role in how comfortable or stressful things go. We intended to do as much sailing as possible on our passages. This leg was to take us from Seattle to check into Canada at Bedwell Harbour. But the sailing part, once again, turned out to be one element we couldn't fully plan for. Which is how we ended up so turned around that our boat literally sailed backwards into Canada.
Speed's only 8 knots. How is that even possible?
Clean bottom.
Like a clean bottom, yes.
We are tacking back and forth. We've just passed Clinton and we're in the channel here. Head northwest up towards Cookville. Guys, the schooner's coming in.
Lay out all the shade.
All right, so we anchored in about 22 feet of water. We're at a plus 10 tide right now. And that means at zero tide, it's 12 feet. And we've got about a minus 1.5 first thing in the morning. So it looks like we are good with our 6.5 foot draft. We couldn't dock at the very end of the wharf here in Cookville because that's the only spot that is deep enough for us. That spot is reserved for the Empress, a charter cruise type boat right here next to us.
So we're anchored for the evening, and then we're going to dinghy into Cookville, have dinner, and then in the morning we're going to time it so we can get through Deception Pass at Slack, and then head up to San Juan Island.
$5 for the dinghy dock.
Shall we fill it out?
Here in Penn Cove in 1970, more than 80 southern resident orcas were captured and shipped off to sea aquariums around the world. Within 5 years, all but one had died. Today, southern resident orcas are listed as endangered species, and sightings here in Penn Cove are rare.
You see a whale, you ring a bell? Is that what it is? See a whale, ring a bell?
See a whale, ring a bell.
See a whale, ring the bell.
Penn Cove is now known more as the home of America's oldest and largest commercial mussel farm. The Penn Cove Shellfish Farm is located less than a mile from our anchorage and grows and harvests over 2 million pounds of mussels per year. So, Guess what we're having for dinner?
All right, I got a table.
Wow, these are fabulous.
They are good?
Yeah, they're excellent.
Okay.
Delicious.
They're delicious?
Yeah.
It was worth the whole day sail to get here just to eat
Absolutely.
these? Yeah.
Our journey so far had taken us up the east side of Whidbey Island and through a slack transit of Deception Pass, where max currents can reach up to 9 knots, before we cross the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Our goal today was to get to BC, weaving our way through the San Juan Islands. And we were determined, without any further stops, to sail across the border.
We left the south end of San Juan Island this morning, and we're just heading north through the islands, and I would say within an hour we'll be crossing the border, the international borderline, yes, to Canada.
How much wind did we have for a while there? 14? Oh, nice.
Yeah, now we're kind of getting the short end of the stick.
Okay, we had 7 knots of wind, so we pulled out the sails so we could sail across the border, and now we're down to about 4 knots. So we're hoping that wind is going to pick up just a little bit, and we can finally sail across the border, because right now we're stuck about a quarter of a nautical mile just inside on the US side. There we go, we are so close. There's the wind, and there's the border. We'll get there. We are pointed south, but we are actually going north only because there's 3 knots, well, of wind, but no boat speed. And we have current that's actually pushing us the other way. So here we go. We have our sails up, and we're actually sailing backwards. We're sailing backwards.
Yeah.
You ever done that before?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, we've
when-
done that.
Yeah.
Garth,
Oh yeah.
have you sailed backwards before?
Oh, absolutely.
We are actually moving 0.7 knots backwards due to current. Maybe our current is changing just enough that it's going to blow us over the border.
I've never sailed backwards, but I have sailed with some backward sailors.
Yes. Yeah. See, this is my goal, is I'm going to sail across the border. I don't know if technically we're sailing, but we are crossing the border with our sails up. There it is. It's official, we did it. We sailed backwards across the border. And what's the first thing we see when we get across the border? A log.
Now that we're officially checked in, stay tuned for more stories about our adventures exploring coastal BC and the Discovery Islands in Season 4. Follow us on Instagram at Sailing SV Indigo for our latest posts and updates. And click to like and subscribe to catch all of our past and upcoming episodes sailing the Pacific Northwest. While we were traveling in BC, that one surviving orca who was captured in 1970 from Penn Cove sadly passed away at the Miami Sea Aquarium. Lolita, also known as Tokate, had lived more than 53 years in captivity. Like with the release of Keiko, the star of the movie Free Willy, plans were actively in place to also release Tokate back to her native waters of the San Juan Islands in 2024. She never made the trip